Hi guys, welcome to another pick a card. This is what should you do in this situation, and this is a timeless reading. There are 5 piles for you to choose from. Pile number 1 is going to be accept help. It's going to be a rose quartz, and your charms are going to be the owl and the unicorn. Okay. Pile number 2. You are going to be howl at the moon, process your feelings. You have the orange quartz hearts, a fox, and an owl. Those are your charms. Okay. Pile number 3, you are moonshining, stay in integrity. And you have the clear quartz with these 2 charms that are from a ship. So this is an anchor, and then that is the steering wheel. I did not do that on purpose, even though there are 300 charms in my bag. Pile number 4, you are moon mastery, the law of attraction. You have the airplane charm and the sewing machine charm, both machines, which is kind of interesting. This stone is either Lolite or blue adventuring. I'm sorry, I'm actually not sure. I can't remember. I've had it for a really long time. And then pile number 5, you are love, and you have a rose quartz pendulum that has a Buddha on the end. Your charm is the blue bird, as well as the cross. I need to glue this together. Sorry. But here we go. Okay? So these are the 5 piles. Go ahead and pause the video now and intuitively tune into which pile is for you. It may be one pile, it may be multiple. And in each pile, I am going into how you feel, what are you intending, what is blocking you, and what should you do next, as well as anything else that you need to know. So just pause the video and pick your pile. All right, pile number 1. Okay, so the question that I asked is, how do you feel in this situation? All right, so the first thing that I am drawn to is this tower and the 8 of Swords. So what I'm picking up is you have had some sort of epiphany. Things have shifted in such a way. You have a new creative idea for how you want to do something, right? These 2 cards are all about ingenuity, creativity, imagination, being in your emotions, feeling like this wonderful new world or this wonderful new thing is possible. But I'm getting that in your mind, you're not sure how to make this a reality. The swords would be thinking, so this would be about your mind. And then we have the Ace of Swords over here, and the shackle is broken. So you have had a partial breakthrough is what I'm getting, but you're just not able to see the whole entire picture or how you can get to where you want to be. Like, I feel like you have accessed some of the vision, some of your emotions have changed. You can see it clearer than you could before. You're just not mentally sure fully how you're gonna get there. The sun being reversed, what this means to me is like you can't fully see how to be successful in the way that you want to. Like, you're not sure like how this endeavor is like gonna make money or how it's gonna lead to the money. I feel like you're just being given like the beginning steps to it, but you can't see all of the steps. So maybe you could see, you know, half a mile down the road, but really you're like, oh, but I want to see 3 miles down the road. You know what I mean? But you can't see that yet. This would be 3 miles down the road. It's reversed. You just can't quite see. And you're not sure how it's going to make money. And you're also not sure how you're going to do it without it taking a lot of work and exhausting you. You're just like, if I tap into it, it feels a little bit like, oh my God, but it's like, it could be so much work. Like, your mind goes into that spirally overdrive thing where it's like, yeah, but like there's like so many things that need to happen or so many things that I would need to do. Like, how am I going to accomplish all of that? And it makes you feel ungrounded when you start thinking in that direction, and it is not useful and helpful. So like, I can already feel like the way to solve this problem is to tap into your imagination and your creativity. The more you are sitting here in your logical mind, the more you're going to feel like you're in a box, okay? Because the logical mind only can access what it already knows. But your magical mind, your intuitive self, right, which this breakthrough that you've had recently has unlocked some of this. This is what made you feel like you got partially out of the cage in the first place, was the intuitive emotional epiphanies that you had. So what I'm getting is that more using your emotions, the imagination, allowing yourself to maybe use like symbolism or some sort of intuitive way to solve your problems, or like a shamanic journey or something like that, that's going to lead to more answers than using your mind. I'm feeling very strongly that you could just stay in this box in your mind for like months if you choose to. If you keep trying to think of it and figure it out with your logical mind, it's just going to cause you to go in a circle. This is not where the answer is found. The answer is not found in your mind. Okay? All right. So let's see. The next thing, I picked a couple of cards from this deck. Okay? And we got, no one said this whole thing was a race, okay? So you don't have to do it now. I'm sure that you want to do it now, but like, you don't need to figure it out by next week. You don't even need to figure it out by next month. I do feel like you do need to feel clarity and settled in your body. And when you intuitively tap into like the path that you need to be on and use your intuition to sort out how to move forward, it will make you feel grounded. It will make you feel solid. And you won't feel this feeling in your body like, I've got to do it now, I've got to do it now, I've got to do it now. You're feeling that because you're in your head and it makes you feel disconnected, okay? So being in your head, feeling that disconnected feeling, it creates like a manicky, panicky feeling of like, but I got to figure it out, but I don't know, but I got to figure it out. I have to figure it out. If I don't figure it out, I'm not okay. And like it's just, all that is that's just a sign that you're disconnected, okay? That's it. That's all that means. It doesn't mean you're not going to figure it out. It doesn't mean you're not going to get there. It just means you're just temporarily disconnected in this moment. Not a big deal. You're just going to go back to connection. Remind yourself, this whole thing is not a race. It's okay to slow down. It is in the pockets of time of staring at the sun, or sitting in the shower, or petting an animal, that these divine ideas will come through and they will solve all of your problems. When you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. When you find something that incites you, it also makes you feel connected to your body, makes you feel connected to your emotions, and it gets you out of this box, okay? So the more time you can spend, especially, I don't know, like if you're the type of person that either needs to schedule things or intend that you make time for things, but whatever it is that you need to do, really make sure that you are putting in your schedule things you enjoy doing, things that bring you happiness and joy. That thing you keep thinking of doing, like, oh man, like for me, I can tell you, my intuition keeps telling me, you really should go to yoga class every week, right? And I haven't booked it. And I was like, oh, I really need to pick like a day and a time. I'll get my friend to go with me and we'll go that day and time every week. That would be great. This is what I'm getting from this card. You like the thing that your intuition keeps telling you need to do. Maybe you're like, oh, I live next to the beach. I really should, or the lake. I really should go there like once a week on my day off. Like I really should do that. And then what happens is on your day off, you're tired and you end up laying around all day and you don't do any of it. And then several days off pass, right? And then you're like, oh, like there's like 4 or 5 days I like could have gone and I didn't go. What I'm feeling real strongly is that thing you keep thinking you need to do, put it first. Like make time to do it. Even if you're tired, get off the couch, get yourself together, go do the thing. You're going to be happy once you get there. And also, if you get there and you're not happy, you can always go back home. Like really, you can. It's not, the end of the world. All right, we also have do something kind for someone without any expectation. This to me also feels like being in your body, being centered. We easily and naturally do kind things for others. This could even be just like a warm, welcoming conversation. Talking to somebody on the street about nothing, right? Talking to somebody on the street about how cute their dog is. Just like engaging with another person and just like in the pure joy of the moment. You're not trying to go anywhere. You're not trying to get anything. You're just being like present. That's what I'm getting from this card. And then be authentic. Everything else is just exhausting. Everything else is just exhausting. So the mind will create all these things that we need to be doing so that we can be good enough, because it doesn't feel good enough. But really, when we're just present and we're just like doing the thing that we love doing, right? And we're like settled, we are being ourselves. We are being authentic, you know? Like, start to notice how you feel in your body when you do certain things. Like, when you're doing the thing that's right for you, when you're doing the thing that is authentic for you, you're going to feel really good. You're going to feel settled. You're going to feel grounded. When you're doing something that your mind is telling you that you need to do, you're going to feel that panicky feeling and be like, ah. I'm feeling pulled to the charms. Let's talk about the charms. All right, so owl to me represents intuition, and then this unicorn here feels to me like imagination, wonderment, thinking of new ways of doing things, okay? So what are new alternatives? And this would be a fantastic exercise. I don't know why I'm having trouble speaking. Exercise. Allow yourself to really tune into creative ideas, things you've never thought of before, and maybe just like make a list of them. And really, and you want to do it to get yourself out of this box, because your ego is going to try to keep you in this box. And your job is to be like, no, ego, that's not what we're doing. We're thinking of new opportunities and ideas. So maybe journal on that. Make a list of like fun things you could do, maybe fun ways you could do your endeavor that you've not thought of, and just see what comes through. And I would do this at like the quiet time when you're being still, right? Maybe taking a walk outside or having a bath or something to the nature of that. Okay, so let's move into the next part of the reading. Okay, so the next question that I asked for you all is, what are you intending in this situation, okay? So I see the ship here, cutting ties, moving on, receiving what you need, cutting karmic ties, karmic relationships. So habitual patterns that you've been doing for a long time, you're done with them. You're like, I'm finished. And I feel like with the Tower card that was pulled in the last spread, that is just showing me that you've already partially cut the cords. All right. So that's good, which is why you've had such an epiphany, and it's been allowing you to feel a lot better emotionally. So they're mostly cut. It is your intention to finish cutting them. And then we have Cupid's arrow and the runner. So you don't want to, I feel like you don't want to run away from love. You don't want to run away from prosperity. You don't want to run away from success. So maybe in the past you've been, I'm getting that you had some sort of fear, and you were like wrapped up in like the fear and like, this is hard and I'm not really sure how to do this. And you're kind of in that like frequency range of like that thinking. Okay. And I'm going to call it a frequency range on purpose. And being in that frequency range means you just kind of think of other thoughts that are just similar to that, right? And part of you is like, oh, like, what is wrong? Like, am I like not aligned with being successful? Like, am I not aligned with like having love and like prosperity in my life? Like, what is going on? And I feel like you don't want to run from that anymore. You're done with that. Like, you're over it. It is your intention that you stop doing that, right? And I feel like you're well on your way. You're well on your way. All right, and then if I move down here, we have the Nine of Cups. It is reversed. So this is, when I tap into this person is, it looks like a sort of coffee shop or bar situation. It feels like this person is like doing their own thing. This is the thing they want to be doing. This is their aligned thing, okay? So whatever your aligned thing is that you're trying to get is what this card is representing. It is upside down though. So I feel like you want financial freedom in some way. At the very least, you want to be like autonomous maybe from your job or jobs. A certain percentage of you have two jobs. Maybe like 39%, 40% of you have two jobs. So this is a general reading. That's why I'm talking in percentages. So you really want to get out of that. You'd like to do something that you enjoy doing, where you feel more free, preferably that you're autonomous and travel for a certain portion of you. Let's see, about 30%. 30% of you would love to be able to travel or be like fully remote in some way, and then others of you, they're like, nah, I just want to like get rid of the job and do something that's more aligned for me. And you want it to happen fast. You want it to happen fast, but it feels like you're like, I just don't know how to make it happen though. And like when you try to look like this person is like looking and they're looking into the water, like they're trying to see. It almost feels like they're like, what is the emotional problem, right? This is the water down here. Like, what is the emotional issue about this? But it feels like you can't quite see it, but it's like something underneath the emotional surface is like causing you distress. And you're so like annoyed and frustrated by it at this point because you want to move fast. You know you can move fast, but this emotional feeling that you feel that's like kind of deeper, you're like, ugh, this is stopping me from like moving fast like I want to and being into the aligned like life that I want to. You really, really want to like take action. And I feel like you may have taken a lot of action in the past, right? Look how zippy this guy is. He's like, right? You may have done that, but it resulted in like some sort of frustration here. And maybe you tried to do some sort of like online business thing or somehow make money through the internet. And it just resulted in you feeling frustrated and stagnant, and you were just like, it feels like a deflation emotionally. Like I'm not getting like, oh, you're like elated with joy. No, it was like, why is this so hard? What I'm getting about this is like you were disconnected. Like you were disconnected. So as you were taking these actions, whatever they were, you weren't connected to the body and lit up. You were taking action that you thought that you needed to take, and you were taking action from your brain. And because of that, right, you were doing what you thought you should do, which is a completely different frequency set than doing what your intuition, your higher self, your guides of the highest light are telling you to do, okay? When you are taking action, all right, let's talk about this. When you are taking action with what your guides of the highest light are telling you to do, what your intuition is telling you to do, what the gods are telling you to do. Like I resonate with Viking gods, so I'm always constantly walking around asking the gods things. I'm not doing this out loud in public to look like a weirdo, but I am doing it in my head, right? So whoever your like spirit team is, when you tap into them and you ask them, show me the way and please reveal to me my next step. What do I need to do? That will result in things working. Every time I do what the gods tell me to do, it works. I can tell you that for sure because I've been writing it down and keeping track of the data for a while. You're confused as to why this didn't work. You thought it was going to work. Logically, it should have worked, right? But it wasn't from spirit. That's why it didn't work. It was from your ego. That's why it didn't work. It was what your mind was telling you you should do in order to be successful. That's why it didn't work. If you felt like you needed to show up a certain way, be a certain way, act a certain way, say certain things, do your hair a certain way, have a certain type of picture, a certain type of vibe, a certain type of whatever, in order to be good enough to be successful, that is the frequency, the underlying frequency of that is I'm not good enough and I'm trying to be good enough and I need you to acknowledge me. And we live in an attraction-based universe. So if you're in the energy of, I don't feel good enough and I need to do these things to be good enough so that then I can receive money, the universe is just going to reflect back to you that you don't feel good enough because that's what the underlying frequency is. So I think for a lot of you, I'm going to go with like 90% of you, that's like what the underlying issue was, but you couldn't see it because you're not, the energy underneath the thing that you were doing is what is creating what you're receiving in the physical. So at this time when you were working so hard and you were trying to do the thing, you weren't seeing that. You weren't seeing that these actions you were taking were from ego. And listen, I'm 100% not trying to make you feel bad at all. Like, please don't. This pattern I'm describing, I have done this. I have 100% done this, which is probably why I'm able to articulate it because I know this pattern, right? So in order to get out of this pattern, right? In order to get out of this pattern, you have to tap into your guidance, your knowing. You already know. It's already inside of you, okay? This card, the Lover's card, this feels to me like getting in touch with yourself. This doesn't really feel like getting in touch with another person to me. This is like you and you. You need to get all up in your own grill, right? And Then you'll know what to do. Then you'll feel the inspiration. Is this the first wand card we've gotten for you all? I think it is. I think this is the first wand card. We had so many sword cards at the beginning here. All right. This is this wand. Inspiration, desire, excitement, joy. That's what the wands mean. And look, he's got wheels, okay? So when you get in touch with you and your deeper desires and what your soul is telling you to do and what you really want to do and what is the next direct thing for you to do, you're suddenly going to have wheels. Desire is going to put wheels on your manifestation. That'd be a good t-shirt. It keeps coming through that I need to like do a book or a workshop on how to tap into what your soul is telling you to do. Because like if I had already created that, I would direct you guys to that, but I haven't created that yet. But I feel like that's the thing that needs to come through. In the meantime, let me try to give you as much helpfulness as I can about the rest of this. Okay, so what are we tapping into next? We're going to tap into what are the primary blocks within you, which I feel like we just did, but let's see if I can get additional information about that and get a deeper, let's see if they can tell me deeper things about it. Hold on. Okay. Immediately what's coming through is listening to your intuition, especially if it doesn't make sense. Okay. I feel more strongly about like, this is what this means here, especially the unicorn means like things that don't make sense and logically seem impossible. So follow your intuition, especially if your ego is like, that's ridiculous. Then it probably means you should do it because it's going to create these magical scenarios, magical opportunities. Like it's just going to work. You need to let the magic come through. Like you keep saying you believe in magic. Like, do you really? Because like, if you believe in magic, you need to follow the magical things your subconscious is trying to tell you, that your higher self is trying to tell you, that your guides are trying to tell you. So you have to decide, like, do you really believe in it or not? Because if you don't, you might as well like, just like let it go and be happy and live, you know, your like normal life here. But I get the feeling like you're not that person. You're like, no, I do believe in the magic. Okay, great. If you do believe in the magic, it's time to like follow it. It's time to, when you get the guidance, even if it seems nutballs, it's time to be like, okay, I honor that this is guidance is coming through from my guides. I'm going to take that step. So I had asked the question, what are your primary blocks about the thing? And what I got is this 3 of Wands. It's like, oh, you want to be free, but you have these belief structures preventing you from being free. Mainly these 3. So let's talk about them. The first is that you have to look a certain way or do certain things in order to be successful, right? Queen of Swords. Swords is the thinking mind. The Queen is like, in order to be at the top of your game, you need to be professional. You need to look a certain way. You have to do things other professional people do. Okay, so that's a certain thing. Like, you're going to have to be this, like, certain type of person. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now that's not the case. These are just what you're believing in your subconscious. Okay, and the next thing, there's going to be a lot of competition. Somehow you feel like, oh, it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to do things to fight in order to be seen. Or it's going to be a lot of work in order for me to get to the top. Okay. Next one, 10 of Wands. It's going to be such a burden. It's like, I'm going to have to do so much. And there's like, look at how many steps this guy has. I feel like this is the biggest block of all for the majority of you. This is a general reading. It's like, oh, but you feel like there's so many steps to success and it's going to be such a burden on the way. And it's going to take you so long to get there. Like you're like in your subconscious somewhere, it's like you believe it's going to take you 30 or 40 years to get there. And it's not. Let me tell you what it takes you 40 years to get there when you don't listen to your intuition. Then it'll probably take you 40 years, okay? It takes you 40 years and feels like a burden when you don't listen to what your intuition is telling you and your guides are telling you and your higher self is telling you. To me, intuition, guides, and higher self are all kind of the same thing, right? That's what's going to take you forever. Here's what's not going to take you forever. The Hermit, right? Tuning into yourself. Feeling what they're telling you, okay? So he's got this light of illumination right here, all right? And then we can see his heart chakra reflected back on the wall. Tuning into your body, tuning into your heart, being centered, being grounded. Look, there's a key on the nightstand, right? The key is to tune into your body and yourself, all right? So you can, when you're in this state of being grounded, right? You can notice these like things when they come up, right? these sensations and impressions in your body when they come up about, oh, it's going to take a long time, this is so hard. And you can just ask yourself, you'd be like, is this true? Is this true? Or is this like my fear freaking out? And if it's your fear freaking out, be like, thanks, fear, that's nice. You could even get a notebook if you wanted and start writing down, oh, look what my fear gremlin said today. My fear gremlin said da 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 da. And I'm not saying you should do this to focus on the fear gremlin, okay? I don't want you really focusing on it, but writing it down and getting it out and acknowledging that it's a fear gremlin is going to take away its power, because then you're going to stop thinking of it as real. You're going to stop thinking of it as valid. You're going to stop thinking of it as a reason why you can't do the thing. Right? You have a lot of these fear gremlins, which is why you're thinking it's going to take you forever to achieve your goal in like your emotional body in the, where was that card? The moon, we got the moon card somewhere in here. I don't know where it went. But that moon card, when she was looking at it, and like, that's the thing, like, you're trying to look at it and decide, you're trying to access it and go like deeper in there, and like the things that are lurking under there are these things, like belief structures like this that are telling you in order to be free, you have to be a certain way and you have to fight to get to the top and it's going to take forever. And that's not the case. It is literally not the case. All right. Next question. Is there anything, okay, what should you do next? Okay. So what should you do? The very first thing that I'm getting is that you're going to have to be okay with being uncomfortable. And I mean like mildly uncomfortable, not like extremely uncomfortable. So as you need to choose to branch out and do something new. Okay. And see how she's falling, like there's no solid ground underneath her, but like it is a beautiful scenery. She does have an umbrella. Like she's, I mean, there's flowers on the umbrella and like she has a bird that's holding her. So this feels to me like doing something new. And when you initially do the new thing that you're not used to be doing, you might feel a little bit like, oh, like there's nothing beneath me. And it might just feel like slightly uncomfortable, but I'm not getting that it's very uncomfortable. I'm getting that it's just like this, oh, like 'cause I'm doing something that's like slightly new, slightly out of my comfort zone. So what your intuition is telling you to do might cause you to feel a little out of your comfort zone, but it's exactly what you need and you should do it anyway. So we have surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson in every moment and surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. Okay, so yeah, if you want to be on your soul's path, on your highest timeline and reach the dreams, surrender, like feel it. You can feel the wisdom of your body when you're sitting in silence. That was the Hermit card that we got in the last spread, okay? Your body has the wisdom. It knows, and it knows how to guide you. This is the owl. So what I'm getting over here is you're going to leave, what you need to do is leave this previous emotional pattern behind, okay? And step into the version of you that feels fulfilled and feels complete. We can get in perpetual emotional patterns of like, it's hard and I'm struggling and da-da-da-da-da. But if you want to move into a new reality, you've got to like let go of the struggle and move into the like, I am successful and this is working and I feel fulfilled and everything is going my way, and like being more success-minded. And in order to get to this next venture, like this person, I'm getting the feeling like he wants to be on the other side of the lake or the river here. In order to get to the other side, you're really going to have to go through your fears and just like move through them, follow your intuition, which might make you feel a little bit, mildly uncomfortable. But when you get on the other side of it, you're going to feel aligned with this Temperance card. You're going to feel settled and grounded, and it's going to like complete the pattern, and then you're going to easily take action. But in order to do that, you have to leave all this emotional stuff behind. Like it's so done. It's so done. You've got to pay more attention to the wisdom of your body and the intuition that's coming through, and pay less attention to your fear gremlins that are giving you a list of reasons of why it's not going to work, it's going to be hard, and it's going to take forever, because it's not true. Those are absolutely not true. Right? So what was that? There was some movie that George Clooney was in. I forget what it's called, but in the movie, there were like two realities, and it was like the reality that became true was the one that you feed. Like, I'm botching this, but you know that story, there are two wolves, and which wolf survives? It's the wolf that you feed. So the reality that you feed is the one that is going to manifest. And I feel like you've been feeding the reality of this is hard and I'm struggled and I need to figure this out. But if you just switch your attention to, no, I'm being given the steps every day. I'm being more successful every day. Things are working out for me more and more every day. And switch your attention into the success pattern. And take the intuitive action that you feel. This is gonna bring you to a whole new reality. Like, completely new thing is gonna happen. And you're gonna be like, wow, I can't believe I was even over there. Can't believe I was even over there. All right, so is there anything else you need to know? Let me get any last messages. Okay. All right, we have make time to play, have fun, be free. Yeah, you have plenty of time to play when you're doing what you intuitively need to do because everything's working. You don't have to work on stuff and make it happen when you're following your guidance. So you actually have a lot more free time and you have plenty of time to play because things are working, right? They're working because you're following your guidance. Say goodbye to your past and leave the baggage behind for good. There we go. Say goodbye to your past. Your life is so special. Treat it with loving care. Okay, really like that. And someone is in need of your love. Offer it to them. Yeah, spending time with those you love, even if it's a friend, family member, pet, is going to tap you more into your body, and then you'll feel centered and happy. And feeling centered and happy is the where creation expands out and goes into something new and big and beautiful. Okay, all right, pile number one. This was a fantastic reading. If you like this, please thumbs up and whatever that's like, subscribe, whatever the things are. And then if you have a friend who you think this could help, please send them over. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. All right, pile number two. So the first question that I have asked is, how do you feel about this situation? And the first thing that I'm getting with this Page of Pentacles is that you thought that it was going to work. And the situation just didn't end up working. The outcome that you were hoping and expecting, like this fulfillment, did not occur. Instead, you got really hurt. I feel like something difficult happened. You feel a lot of regret about the situation, about how it went down. You wish you could put it back together. You wish it could have been different, but you don't know how to fix it now. And it feels like almost kind of like that feeling of like hopes are dashed. Like you got hurt emotionally. Nothing worked the way that you thought it was going to. But at the beginning, you really thought that it was going to, but you had sort of a, like the perspective was, I almost kind of want to use the word maybe like, you didn't see the full picture. You were only seeing part of the picture when you started with this situation, which is why you had that hope in the beginning that it might work. Like if you had had the full picture, you might have been like, yeah, okay, so maybe not. But you were only seeing partially at the very beginning of it. So that's why, like, when these things transpired, I feel like you were really shocked and hurt by it. And you were like, oh, like I didn't think that was going to happen. Like I really just didn't think it was going to happen. With this Justice card, this feels to me like you're kind of like, okay, so like it happened and, you know, it really wasn't the best. I wish it could have been different. Like I do feel hurt about it, but also like I don't want to like drag it on with me. Like I feel like I need to move on. I feel like you probably bury yourself in work. You could also bury yourself in some sort of like hobby or activity, and you focused your attention on moving forward on that path, and you focus on creating what you want. So you have turned your attention to this pencil is a tree. So it feels to me like you can create and grow what you write down, and you have been writing them down, and you have been focusing on what you can create and what can be the next thing for you. And this Knight of Swords energy, just it feels like you've been working diligently. You probably think about it every single day. You journal about it, you work on it, you take all the steps that you need to kind of like move forward in this new endeavor that you're doing. So it's good that you're putting all of your energy on something new and you're not like focusing on the past, although I feel like it does come up sometimes and it does annoy you still. So then the other cards that I pulled are, these two cards came up together, the workspace and the desert. And my question was more in like the terms of how you feel. And these two cards are like expanse. Like there's like really nothing really going on in the desert. And the office space too, like it's just this expanse. So this feels to me like you could feel kind of emotionally desolate sometimes. You're just like, oh, like you're just not feeling deeply about a situation, or you're just kind of like, I'm just like not really interested in going there because I just like don't feel very much about it. You're like, it's just like over there. The next thing I feel, these two cards came out, laboratory and kitchen. This feels to me like you tried to fix it. Like you really tried to put it back together in the past. You really tried to make it right. And I'm getting that when you just couldn't, you were like, okay, well, I'm just leaving this behind with the train card. You're like, I'm just moving on. Like, I'm not going to sit here and fixate on this. I'm just going to leave it go, let it go and move forward. All right, pile number 2. So what you intend, what I'm getting from this spread is that you intend to be number 1. You intend to be at the top of your game. You intend to have emotional fulfillment through your creativity in some way, right? Whatever the thing is that you love doing that like makes you feel overflowing and joyful, like that, you want that to be like this overflowing cup in your life. And you want to be the best at that. I feel like this could be a business or a side thing you want to turn into a business. It's very possible. However, I don't see any pentacle cards here. So I'm thinking that the thing that you want the most is to really be the best in your field and be acknowledged in whatever it is that you're doing. You just want to know like you have done the best. You've created the best. You are like the best version of you possible. We have this card over here, headspace. You are overflowing with creativity, new ideas, and productivity. So you want to be in this mystical haven. You want to be in this like overflowing, and there's like so much overflowing energy in these cards. You want the ideas to flow, the divine inspiration to come through. You would like to be able to like think of it in the morning, create it in the afternoon, and maybe have it for sale the next day. Like it feels like that. You want it to just be like click, 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 and then there's the thing, right? And you want to allow this like creativity and divine inspiration to like just like I almost see a plant like sprouting and blooming and coming up. But this is one of those plants that grows really rapidly and grows really tall and produces flowers immediately. Like it's not the type of plant that takes 3 years to produce a flower. So you want it to be rapid. I'm getting that like sense of energy as I'm tuning into these cards. And I pulled these cards for asking how you want to feel. You want to let go of this like devoidness, like parking lot, you know, it's just like there's like nothing in there. It's devoid. You want to be in the feelings of mystical haven. And this parking lot feeling here, this feels to me, this like emotionally empty feeling kind of feels like what happens when you allow yourself to focus on the negative things or what happened in the past or how you felt hurt. It can maybe like allow you to spiral down, and then like a few hours later you kind of feel like a devoid and kind of like meh. You know what I mean? Like it's like you drop out of the frequency band of creativity when you start to focus on like negative things or what happened in the past and how they went and how you felt hurt and yada, yada, yada. And I'm not getting that you spend a lot of time there. You kind of go there sometimes, but your intention is to spend most of your time in this mystical haven, this winding path, or like to be like very social with your friends and doing things and like having fun and, you know, taking action, maybe doing group activities or like going swimming with all your friends or doing some sort of sports activity or some sort of artistic activity. I'm just like really feeling like all this like joy and amazement. Okay. So, all right. The primary blocks I feel are, you feel like you have so much to do before you can become successful. Like, it does feel like a little bit overwhelming. The vision you hold feels to me like it's so big and so large that if you focus on the vision so far in the future, it makes you feel overwhelmed and like, how am I going to get there? It's when you look too many steps ahead, it causes that sort of feeling to come up, and that mild amount of like, this is so much, like how exactly am I going to do that? The other thing that I'm feeling is that not allowing yourself rest because you feel like you haven't made enough money yet, right? It's this feeling of, I work all the time, but I haven't made as much money as I wanted to, but money isn't my primary value. My artisticness is, my creativity is, but it's this feeling of like, but how do I create, you know, more money and create more money easily without it being such a struggle? So you are having you have some sort of financial assistance in some way. So either you have, for a small percentage of you, it's a job that is helping you. Another percentage of you, maybe like you live at home or you live somehow for free. So that's like subsidizing your like living expenses to a degree. Or maybe you eat at like a family member's house or something, so that's like things you don't have to pay for, things like that. Just like in some way, like you are being helped monetarily, and you are trying to support yourself. You're trying to have more money coming in, but it does feel a little bit frustrating and exhausting for you that more money isn't coming in. And like you see this grand vision, you're like, I know I can get there. I know I can get there. But like getting here to there, it feels like it's like so much. It's like, how are you going to do it? You're like, I have to have a breakthrough moment. I can't keep feeling like I'm fighting all of the time and I'm trying. Like, you want your desires to fully flourish. You want them to fully like bloom, like that flower I was seeing in the last spread. You really want all those flowers to bloom. You would prefer they do it now rather than later. Like, you can't wait 3 years for the tree to bloom. You really want the tree to bloom in the next like 3 to 6 months. That would be ideal. Actually, next week would be great, but I don't feel like you believe it can happen in next week. So you're just focusing on like, okay, in the next short duration, in the next 3 to 6 months, you know, I've got to have a breakthrough moment. I can't keep struggling like this. I can't keep doing what I'm doing. Like, it's a little bit overwhelming and it's a little bit too much. So when you're in your creativity, I feel like it feels good and like nurturing, but then like I feel like when you get out of that like creativity zone and then you're back in reality, you're like, oh, it's like, oh my goodness, like there's like day-to-day things and bills. Like, why is this a thing? Like, why do we live in this culture where there's like these things that take me out of my creativity? All I want to do is focus on my creativity. I don't want to focus on anything else. I don't want to do any of these other things that I'm supposed to be doing that society says I have to do. Like, why do I have to do it? Like, you're just not, your primary value set doesn't include spending time doing things you don't enjoy to get money. You just don't want to do it. It's not a thing. Okay, so let me pull some more cards for you. We have Succubus Cave, protect your energy, draining energy, toxic relationships, temptation. Okay. The next thing we have is Fortune Teller Tent, the answers are within you, influence, intuition. We have the Laundromat, choose your own destiny. Okay. This to me feels like parallel realities. And then we have Starry Canyon, look for the light in the dark. Okay. This feels to me like your mind. Okay. This star is that voice inside you that's whispering and telling you what to do. It's like, hey, do this. Hey, go this way, right? Look for the light in the dark. The light is always shining. This voice or this like knowing is always whispering to you. It's always talking to you, speaking to you, giving you impressions, nudging you in the correct direction that you need to go in. It's always there. And it is within you, right? It is within you. It's within you. And I get this feeling that you have to sink into yourself and ask yourself, what do I already know? What do I already know? If I let go of all these external things that don't matter, and it might be of great help to journal on this. Journal on what are the things that I know are draining my energy. Okay. Journaling prompt number 1. What are the things that I know are draining my energy that I need to let go of that are not serving me? Things that are not serving me. What are they? How can I let them go? Okay? This could be thinking patterns. This could be habits. This could be people that you spend your time with. Okay, this could be on many different things. All right? All of the answers are within you. You have all of these different things available to you. This, how you emotionally feel right now, is but one reality choice. This thing that's going on here, where you're like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired of like working so much, not making enough money for what I'm doing, that I have to receive support. This whole thing is one. It's one reality choice. There are so many others. Look how many dryers are in here. Each dryer is a parallel reality. I can't really see the things that are in these different dryers. This one does have a farmhouse. This has a bridge. This looks like rocks. These look like people. I don't know what that is. Could be a giraffe. Here, let me do it so you guys can see. But look how many other reality choices that you have. Okay? And this, like, your internal guidance system is telling you, all right? Another good journaling question would be, what is my inner self telling me to do, right? What is my inner self, my intuition, or my higher self telling me to do? What are the whispers that are true? What are my intuitive whispers that are true and valid? Okay, that is journaling prompt number 2. I think that will help you guys a lot have clarity and see what you need to see. Okay? Okay, you guys, I feel like what we were on was what are the primary blocks within you, I think. But like I've been using my intuitive brain, so if we're on a different question, sorry about that. Let me see, which one of these cards is for you? I feel like this one. Oh, surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. This feels to me like a contraction around your energy field of like, I'm afraid of being open. I don't want to be open. Okay? So in order to allow your creative dreams, the thing that is overflowing within you, your endeavor that you're doing, you have to be open to receive. Okay? I'm not getting that this is about a relationship, although of course it could be. I'm just feeling like this feels like the energy of you've got to be open to receive. Of letting love in. Of allowing the success to come in. Of allowing the abundance to come in. Letting it come in and not feeling like you can't handle it, okay? Or feeling that anxiety feeling that comes up sometimes when you think about being open. Surrender to your soul's path. This is also signaling to me soul's path, okay? This is like the star card in tarot, basically. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. All right, what is the truth? This is a good journaling prompt. What is the truth that you need to surrender to? Journaling prompt number 3. What is the truth that you need to surrender to? Okay. You guys, I didn't know there were going to be journaling prompts in here. Obviously, journal on them if you want. You don't have to, but I just feel like this is just what's coming through. So this is what's happening. All right. Let's see what we're going to get from the message of Cosmic, which makes no sense, which tells me somebody who's not a native English speaker created this deck, but it's fine. The messages on the deck make sense, like these ones. Stay present. Stay present. That is where life happens. You guys, I'm sorry I keep being up here. I'm not doing it on purpose. All right, you have the power to create the life you love. Remember that. This also, to me, symbolizes divine ideas. The way to get out of any situation when you're not sure, I'm telling you right now, is divine ideas, right? Receiving the, okay, here it is. Receiving the divine idea is no different than receiving a creative impulse. It's not different. You're receiving creative impulses all the time in your craft and the thing that you're doing, right? It's not any different to receive a creative impulse of what to do in your business. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. Oh my goodness, that was like so powerful. It is the same thing. So just be open to receiving divine ideas about how to proceed forward in your business / creative endeavor. For the majority of you, you do want to turn this into a business. So like, it's the same. So here's what we are taught in our society to follow our ego and our mind about what we should do, how to make things happen. Everybody's ego has their own idea about how to make a business work and how to make a business thrive. Your business isn't thriving because you're not following your inner guidance about what you need to do to make it work. You're following your inner guidance when it comes to, oh, the cards aren't here, they're over there. You're following your inner guidance when it comes to creating what you're creating and whatever, I don't know if it's like a product you're doing or what you're doing, but whatever your creative pursuit is, you are following your guidance for that. But when it comes to like the business side of it, you're not following it. Like, it's the same thing. Like, just it's like, why? It's like, it's the same thing. Find ways to lighten up and not take everything so seriously. Yeah, and it's going to be easy to lighten up when you recognize and hear what your inner guidance is telling you. I see this golden staircase. Okay, I've got shivers. When you finally listen to what your subconscious, intuition, higher self, to me that's all the same thing, is telling you to do, okay, and you surrender to your soul's path and just view it as building your business as a creative exercise, the same way creating your masterpieces is, whatever those happen to be. I see this golden staircase. You will just go up this staircase and you're going to leave all of this behind. It like won't even be a thing. Be authentic. Everything else is just exhausting. This is the way you sort through the world. You sort through the world with your creativity. Your creativity uplifts you. Your creativity brings you to new heights. Your creativity like puts you in touch with the divine, and building your business is not any different. Tap into that creative source. Building the business is going to feel as easy as creating your creations, creating your products, or creating whatever the masterpieces that you're creating. It doesn't need to be different. It is our society that tells us that it needs to be different, and that is not true. That is not true. All right, guys. So what should you do next, and anything else you need to know? All right, what you should do next. Puppet show. Acts can't go on forever. Manipulation, falseness, control. Trying to make this thing work from doing what other people think you should do. Look at all these cords she's got. It's like literally never going to work. You're going to struggle as long as you're trying to do things the way that other people are telling you that you need to do them. It's just like not going to work. This is bringing me over here. We never talked about this card. Process your feelings. Tapping into your authentic feelings, I think, is really, really important. We have the owl over here. Tapping into your intuition, extremely important. Tapping into the desires of your heart. Orange desire, and this is a heart. The fox also is orange. So following your gut instinct, following what you feel like you should be doing, following what your intuition is telling you to do is so like important here. Like, the fox has no ego. The owl has no ego. They're just in nature. They're like doing their thing, and they're following their inner guidance system at all times. The sky library, learn from your past. This to me feels like Akashic Records. Maybe get on YouTube and do an Akashic Records meditation and like see what comes up. That could give you a lot of insight. Treehouse, find inner peace, being alone. What makes you feel connected? Connecting every day into your guidance feels so strongly to me. Soul's window, listen what speaks to your soul. If you do the journaling questions that came through in this reading, which I don't remember what they are, so you have to go back to look at them, but whatever they were, that can give you an insight into your soul. Connecting to yourself, connecting to the Akashic Records, provide you a window into your soul. And it can allow everything to switch around. This card is like the death card in tarot. Afterlife, where are we going now? Transition, transformation, rebirth. Literally everything can be different. But you need to tap into the truth of your soul. Be in silence. Connect to your soul. And really, like, even like 20 to 45 minutes a day, like, is literally can be life-changing, okay? Peachy paradise. Enjoy the view in front of you. Happiness, contentment, and gratitude. Like, it can just be like ease and like grace, and like these two figures are sitting at the edge of a pool, looking out at more of an ocean. Like, it's very like a calm, serene thing. And these pillars, like this foundation, strong foundation built on solidness. And when you do what is coming through you, you are going to feel that solidness and feel like so good. Like, you're going to know that it's what you need to be doing. Just like when you're doing your creation, whatever it is, you just know that, oh, I need to do this next. I need to do it like this. I need to arrange it like that. You literally just know. And the business doesn't need to be any different. It just can be this, it can feel the same way. But you must tap into your feelings, tap into your soul's presence, your soul's knowing, okay? The Akashic Records can be helpful for that. And then the last thing is, if anything, what else do you need to know? So these are the cards I pulled for that. What else do you need to know? Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. You are energized and happy. Move forward. Surrender to inner peace. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and you will flow more easily. And surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. These 3 cards are identical to these cards that were back here. It's basically the same message again. Your body already knows. Your subconscious already knows. And when you tap into that, it really does create a feeling of peace. And I can tell you that just from my experience. When I do what my body and my soul tells me to do, I feel very calm. I don't really even care what outside circumstances are. They don't even matter. You're like, yeah, yeah, right? Because you just like, you know, and that's actually what you're looking for. You will be able to easily take the steps you need to take and do the things you need to do when you tap into what your soul is telling you to do. And it won't really matter if like temporarily you don't have a lot of money. You're like, yeah, it doesn't really matter because I know like the money's gonna come like very, very shortly because I'm doing the right thing, because I'm doing the aligned thing. Okay. All right. Pile number 2. This is your reading. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. If you feel like a friend needs to do this pick a card reading, please send the video to them. All right. Bye guys. All right, pile number 3. You got the Moonshining Stay in Integrity card, as well as this Quartz. All right, so your charms are these 2 ships, which I did not do that on purpose. This is how many charms I got that I bought. It's a lot. It was like 200 or 300, so I think it's crazy that you got 2 ships. So we're gonna see what that means as we go forward. All right, so in this reading, it is about what should you do in this situation, and the first thing I decided to tap into is how do you feel. So I'm being drawn to this Page of Wands here. It feels very like the card with the most movement, and I'm very drawn to the yellow. So it's giving me the feeling that you're desiring success and you're desiring movement. But when I move over here to this King of Wands, I feel like your dreams are so big you don't know how you're going to get there. Like, you have this magnificent, beautiful vision, and you're very excited about it. Like, it lights you up to think, oh, I'm so sorry, there's my cat. All right, we're just gonna ignore that and move on. Okay, so you have this big vision, and as Twinkles is pointing out, Twinkles is my cat, you have this really big vision and you really want to reach it. You want to get there, but I'm getting the feeling, like, because this card has the car, like there's a lot of movement, but I'm getting the feeling like you feel kind of boxed in by it. It's like, but if I have my success, then there's going to be certain things that don't work for me, or I'm going to be boxed in a certain way. And I feel like these are childhood issues with the 6 of Cups reversed. So there are, let's see, let me feel into this. It feels like an emotional restriction. Sorry, it's the cat again. It feels like an emotional restriction and some belief structures that you have created based on when you were growing up that are now making you feel boxed and small. So it's very possible that, like, this vision that you have that you want to achieve, you feel like your family members will maybe reject you if you achieve it, or they won't accept certain parts of your dream or who you want to be or how you want to live your life. It feels like a large restriction, like the family has preconceived notions and ideas about what you need to be doing or like maybe you should take they all think you should take a certain life path, but that's not what you want to do, and it's making you feel boxed in and claustrophobic, okay? So now I move down here and we have this Two of Wands. So it's like you're not really sure what this next step needs to be. You don't know how to do step 2. You know that you want to feel in power and you want to feel accomplished, and you want to be more in authority in your life and not the version of you that is allowing the relatives, the outside forces, the opinions of other people to hold you down. But it is kind of creating an issue, and it is kind of stopping you from moving forward. So when I move into these cards down here, what I get is what you keep doing is you keep working on whatever your craft is, or if like it's a business or whatever you need to do in order to reach the dreams that you desire over here. You're like always working at it. You're still working at it diligently, but you're just not sure how you're going to get there. And you don't know what the next step is that you need to take to get there. And I'm getting with these 2 cards here, let's see, you may have had some setbacks, or maybe you like started to do your dreams and then life happened or something difficult happened and you had to pause and there was like a stalling, and then you went back to doing it, and then some like other things happened, and then like you went back to doing it, and it feels kind of like a stop-start energy a little bit to me. And it feels a little bit like part of you is like, ugh, like, is this gonna work? Am I gonna be able to do this? But I'm really feeling like the energy of this card, like it's just like it feels like it comes from over here. Of maybe when you were growing up, you were told that you weren't good enough, or you couldn't do that, or you're never going to achieve certain things. Oh, here's what's coming to me. If you achieve what your dream is, it is going to put you further than your family is, right? So you would be moving outside of like the family dynamic. When I say dynamic, what I mean is like, a lot of times in families, there's like a acceptable range. Like it's okay to be this successful, but not this successful. It's okay to have this sort of life, but not that sort of life. If you have that sort of life, then you're like a bad person, or like something negative, or you're like those people that we don't like, right? So it's like judgment of like people that are on like another tier than the family unit is in. And I'm feeling that from this reading. So I pulled some more cards, and what came up is surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. Okay, very clearly. There are other ways to reach your goal than what you're thinking. Like the ideas that you already have in your mind of, I need to do X, Y, and Z. I have to do it this way, and this way, is blocking you, and it's holding you back. And it's not true. Like there are other ways of doing things, other solutions and ideas that will actually get you there faster. So the reason why you're feeling this energy of like, oh, I don't know if I can reach my dreams, I don't know how I'm going to do it, I have this big vision, will I ever get there, is because you're thinking about doing it in the ways that your ego has come up with, right? Traditional ways. You're not thinking of alternative ways, okay? So I feel like whatever your dream is or your talent is, I feel like it's very unique to you. Like this guy is doing leather bags here, right? It's very unique to you. It's something very beautiful. It's something that you're really good at. But taking the traditional route to get there doesn't feel like... Desiring to take the traditional route is rooted in scarcity, okay? Taking the alternative route is what's going to work. When we first started this, I was so drawn to this card. This skateboard is an alternative. Most people are driving a car. Most people are not driving a skateboard. This guy is in a car, okay? And what I'm feeling is that the skateboard is very important. Following your desires, this is what the wands are. Like feeling that, and there's wands in this card too. There's wands in this card too. Feeling your authentic desire, this doing things the way everybody else is rooted in scarcity. When you let go of that and you allow yourself to surrender to effortlessness, surrender to your full power and surrender to your soul's path. This card of not knowing how to go to step 2 is going to turn around and you're going to be like, oh, that's what I need to do. Ding, 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 that. Okay? So surrender to effortlessness. I'm going to do this, so it's because of the algorithm. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. And then we have surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Surrender to your full power. Your life is calling you to step in your full power rather than playing it small. Okay. All right. So we've got that. So for what are you intending? We have campfire circle, create deep and magical connections, relationships, portal, a new door is entering. This is like the Fool card in tarot. Starry Canyon, look for the light in the dark. This is like the star card. Cold lands, learn how to keep yourself warm. Haunted staircase, don't let what ifs haunt you. Regret unsaid words, missed opportunities. Succubus cave, protect your energy. Rainbow road, you are on the right path. Okay, so what are you intending? Let's see. You want to step into a new life and you want to step into a life that is in alignment. But every time you try to take a step, it kind of feels like, how do I put this into cold words? I just said cold words because it's cold lands. What it feels to me like is every time you try to step through the door, you feel like you're in this like, oh, I don't know if oasis is the word, but you're in this landscape that feels cold and alone, like you're not supported by your family. I'm not feeling that. And, you know, you're probably not going to be until later. But I feel like it's important for you to know, like, you don't need the support of your family. Like, you can do it. Like, with the proper preparedness, you can easily cross these cold lands. It says, learn how to keep yourself warm. Abandonment, challenges, and aloofness. So I feel like every time you try to, like, make this transition, step fully into the new, let go of, you know, things from the past, you feel a little bit lonely. It feels a little bit desolate, right? Because you don't have the support that you need, so you feel like you're going at it alone. And it's like, am I going to get there? Is it going to work? Which brings me to this next card, where you start getting in your head. You get out of your body and you get into your head. And you're like, oh my goodness, like, am I going to be able to do this? Is it going to work? Am I doing this all for nothing? And it just creates this like fear thing. This is what Succubus Cave is. Protect your energy, draining energy, temptation, toxic relationships. So any of this negative self-talk that's happening here of like, can I do it? Will I get there? Is it going to work? Is like, you're taking some steps forward and your intention is to take those steps forward. And then I feel like all these like belief structures come up, all these feelings come up, and then you feel like you like end up stepping back. So you're not fully stepping into the door. You're not like going through into that unknown, but you really want to go and you're ready to go. And it's interesting. It's taking me over here to this ship's anchor and the ship's wheel. So it feels like you're like steering, but at the same time you feel held down. So both of these are happening. And I feel like when you get out of an integrity, when you get out of what you actually know, and when you get out of your alignment is when you drop down into the, am I going to make it? Am I going to be able to do it? And then you like start questioning yourself. But we have this rainbow road here. You are on the right path. I feel like you are on the right path and you are making progress. You are going in the right direction. There's just a couple of like rocks in your way. And the rocks are not feeling supported as you're moving forward and not really sure if it's working. So you're in the energy of doubt, okay? You're in the energy of doubt. And let's just talk about manifestation for just a second. When you're in the energy of doubt, you just create more doubt. And when you're in the energy of it's working, then you create realities where they work. And when you're in the energy of waiting, you just create circumstances and events where there's more waiting, okay? So when you fall into this doubt, you could just think of this as like stepping into a mud puddle, and it's really not that big of a deal. You can just step out of the mud puddle and step into the grass. When you step into the grass, you're in this like alignment. you're in this sort of flow with life. My other cat just showed up. You can't see her. This is Moss, but maybe you can see a tail. So we're going to use that for the reading. So being in alignment, you feel happy, you feel joyful, like when you're petting a cat and you feel like really good and happy. You know what I mean? You feel connected to yourself. You know, you don't get into doubt and scarcity. Okay, Moss is going to sit here. You don't get into doubt and scarcity when you're doing something that you really enjoy or doing something that you really love and you're in flow. When you're in flow, it's kind of, everything is moving in like ease and grace. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's see the next thing. What are the primary blocks? So I'm going to move these cards out of the way. I've already picked the cards for what are your primary blocks. So Moss is sitting on them. Okay, there we go. She moved. All right, so I picked these cards for emotions. Okay. All right. So what are the primary blocks within you? So school, classroom, learning, luxury, boutique, dazzling gems, precious metals, and post office. What I'm being drawn to here is the post office and the shopping mall. So the post office to me feels like back in the day, if you wanted to learn something, you can get like a mail away course. And for some reason, I'm thinking of that, where you like mail away to like learn about the course. So this feels to me like you looked on the internet and like there's lots of different courses to maybe like learn things to like help you move forward. Like a shopping mall, there's so many choices. It says variety of stores. On the internet, there's so many choices of like things you could learn and people all saying that they can show you the way. And it feels like very crowded to me for whatever reason. When you look at these things, it's almost like, oh my goodness, like there's too many choices. There's like too many things that I could possibly do. And like when you look at them, it kind of brings you into that, whoa, oh, but it could work. And wouldn't it be amazing if it just worked? You know what I mean? And it kind of like, I don't want to say, you just like, you're in your imagination about how it might work. And I feel like you may have taken some of these before, and then at the end, this is the Scorching Land card. It wasn't what you thought that it was. Like you were hoping it was going to be this, but it ended up being this. And then you just felt disappointed and sad. And really what you do is like luxury. When I move into luxury boutique, like you may see people on the internet and they may look like they have this great luxury boutique, this great, I don't know if I want to use the word facade, but the way their branding is and the way they look so successful and they look like they have all the things and you want those things, right? But you feel like you need to learn more or like you're not good enough. And if you just learn the thing, then you would be able to do what they're doing and look like they look, because they look like they're successful. But like you've done the things that they said that you should do, hoping it would be great, and it just was like less than great. It wasn't really what you were like wanting. All right, so, all right, let me move into what the next energy wants to bring up from this, okay? All right, what should you do next? So the first thing that I'm noticing about this spread is I'm noticing the 3 of Cups and I'm noticing the 10 of Cups. And it feels to me like the way to balance things for you is releasing emotions and things that don't serve you, releasing ways of the past that you have had in your mind of how you need to do things, and allow new ideas to come in, new creative, fresh ideas. And one of the ways that those new creative ideas come in is when you allow yourself to like party and have a good time and like do what brings you joy and happiness and hang out with your friends and do things that are emotionally fulfilling. I also, you can't see this on screen, but I pulled surrender to play. So surrendering to play feels so good to me. And I get the feeling like dropping all of these burdens that you've been carrying is going to allow you to steer the ship. Okay? It's really hard to steer the ship when the anchor is down. All right? So you got to cut the anchor, let the anchor go, and then you'll very easily be able to steer the ship. Part of the way that you cut the cords of the past and the cords of the things that have been holding you down is through play and through allowing more like joy to come in and making new decisions. The sword is all about decisions. So just like cut the things away that you don't need. This overworking and feeling like you need to compete against other people, when those feelings come up in your body, it's time to let them go and bring in a new feeling. A new feeling of I am safe, I am grounded, I am content, this is going to work. And like, I feel like when you tap into yourself and you really like get present in your body, you're going to see how to move through this, and you're going to see what to do, and you're going to have like new ideas and come to new things, and that's going to allow you to win. That's this world card right here, right? It's going to allow you to get to this new place. But I feel like you could use some more joy and some more balance in your life. And if you think about this situation a lot and how do I change it and how do I make it better, like, just release yourself from that. Like, give yourself permission to let go of the struggle. Yeah, when I say that, like, I feel my whole body relax, right? Let go of the struggle, let go of like all this like difficulty that's like going on here. Like, it can be so easy. You can just like run and win with like your new ideas, but you're going to get these new ideas and this new emotional inspiration when you allow your life to be more balanced, because you are spending time with your loved ones, doing things that you really enjoy, feeling good, allowing any pent-up emotions from the past go. Now, I felt the need to cross the room to get a more spiritual deck because I feel like you guys might need some like deeper healing. Oh wait, these were the second ones I pulled. I feel like you guys need some like deeper insight from the spirit realm, and I'm getting like this feeling in my body that you're spending too much time in your head, and you're spending too much time looking at maybe people on the internet and their solutions about how you should do things, and you're not spending enough time in your inner world really tapping into that and feeling what it is that you need to be doing, okay? And you're taking all of these like ideas and notions from outside of you, and there's not enough internal referencing within yourself to feel what it is that you need to do. Okay, so with this deck, what's interesting is this card here. I didn't even know I had it in the deck. I've never seen it before. So this reminds me of Archangel Michael, Medicine Guardian. It feels like maybe some sort of energy healing work would be a good idea. If you aren't in alignment with that or not sure about that, you could always do a shamanic journey. I'm really feeling strongly that a shamanic journey, talking to your guardians, talking to your higher self, your inner shaman, your inner priest, is really going to help get you connected, and it's going to allow you to like trade out this energy that you don't want and bring in this energy that you do want. So I pulled these first. I got the Trader card as the last one, and then I went through the shuffled again, and then I pulled these four. So this card feels like a transition, right? We're releasing the past. We're letting go of that energy, right? If we're holding on to stuff, we're letting it go, and then we can have new things in our hand because we're letting it go. And working more with the subconscious and what's going on deeper under the surface in some sort of energy work, or like I said, shamanic journey. You could even do, if you wanted, you could do like really, really deep journaling and ask yourself questions to help get clarity. But it feels like using shamanic journeys are great because they use like symbols and things like that to like show you things and show you how to release things and what you need in order to bring healing. And I feel like be devoted and committed like the sage. You might want to do it multiple times to journey to get answers to your questions and to find the enlightenment and the things that you are needing. And that's going to allow you to like spring into the new and birth all this newness that you want to. But it just feels like so strong to me that you really need to let go of these old things. You could even do a shamanic journey for a power animal. There are tons of videos on YouTube that will take you on a shamanic journey. You can put in shamanic journey power animal and they'll come right up. But I'm feeling like it feels like very strong, like spiritual guardians around you. Like your spirit team is right there They're trying to help you. You do need to ask for help and choose to let it in. So I feel like instead of looking to other human people on the internet and asking them, what should I do? How do I do this? And then following their path and then being disappointed at the end because the path wasn't what you needed. It was, I mean, I'm sure like a lot of them had like great intentions and whatnot, but the path for you is like inside. Okay? Going within, forgetting what all the other, okay, so here's what I'm getting. Believing what your family says and looking to your family for, you know, their like help and wishing that they would support you. I mean, that's a lovely thing, but you don't need them to do that in order to move forward. And like, it's getting support from somebody outside on the internet also, like that's a wonderful thing, but you don't need those people in order to be successful anyway. What I'm getting strongly is that all your answers are within, and you don't need either of them to like show you these things. Like your inner sage is inside, your inner priest is inside. All of these things you need to create what you want are like all inside. And you can ask, you know, Archangel Michael or Archangel Gabrielle or any archangel that you like. Or you don't even have to ask the archangels, whatever spirit guide. You can just use the word spirit team. And you get asked them to assist you and help you on a daily basis. That is something I personally do. I am literally always asking for guidance. Like, they're probably sick of hearing from me. But, like, all the time. All the time. Like, I have a specific book that I write in where I will write to the gods because, like, they're my... I resonate a lot with the Viking gods, right? But whoever your spirit team is like, perfect for you. And I will write to them and I will thank them for things they've helped me with, and then I'll ask them for guidance in other ways. And I'm really feeling that that is going to help you more on your path, and looking up the shamanic journeys on YouTube and then journaling about your journey afterward to like really release some of these subconscious things, because your inner sage is inside and you have a huge spirit team that is helping you and trying to help you trade out this energy you don't need to like bring in more energy. And whatever your talent is, like it's going to start to work, the energy is going to start to flow, and the energy is just going to start moving, you know what I mean? Because you're going to reference from inside. And that, I'm feeling really strongly, is incredibly important for you all. Remember, you can't change anyone but yourself. You don't need anybody to be different. Clear your mental and physical clutter. You'll feel so much better. Okay. I feel like the shamanic journeys are going to help with that if you choose to do that. Stay present. That's where life happens. We have live your life with both feet in. Fully commit to being here. These are all cards about like being in the body, right? Being present and grounded. Stop trying to carry the world on your shoulders. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry about the noise outside. I don't know if you can hear that. I've got to close my front door because it's gotten dark. But anyway, this I asked, what else do you need to know? And these are the cards that I got, okay? I feel like it's going to be easier for you to stay present and live your life with both feet in if you are really referencing your next steps from inside of you and not from people outside of you. It's going to help you a lot more move forward. It just feels like really good. And doing some of these journeys is probably going to let you release maybe like a lot of the emotional stuff that you've been carrying or thinking about, or, you know, letting cause like mental clutter inside of you. And this just feels, I'm now getting the energy of like receiving, right? This is going to allow you to be more in the energy of receiving, and it's going to cause this Empress to be upright, right? So the abundance can flow. You can allow it to move towards you, and you're not going to be in conflict anymore because you're going to feel it inside of you. You're going to be like, oh, I need to do that. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Okay. All right, pile number 3. This was your all's reading. If you feel like a friend needs to hear this message, please send them over and like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye. All right, pile number 4. So the first card that I pulled for you is the Lovers. And the question that I'm asking is, how does this situation make you feel? And I noticed that we have the Judgment card. This feels to me like the energy of wishing you hadn't done certain things, wishing they had been different. These picture frames in the back, they feel like memories. There's numbers back here, so this feels like your logical mind is perhaps judging you in some way. But I feel this wonderful energy from the Lover's card. And this energy right here of the Seven of Pentacles and then the fast-moving energy of the Eight of Wands, it almost feels like this energy of, oh, but you love to be in this Queen of Cups energy. You love to be in your creative energy. You love to be in your joy. This is what all of your energy centers around. But you have, maybe your finances aren't enough, or somehow you have to spend too much time on like monetary things, which you'd really rather not do. And you have a lot of beliefs, thoughts, and judgments about money, maybe about making money or how easy or hard it is to make money. And it almost feels like this energy of like, I wish money didn't exist at all, because I'd rather be in this like air energy of being in my creativity and just like being in my joy and being in my emotions with all this water back here. Like, this feels so good to you. You just want to do this. And it feels like your base energy is like, you are a lover. Like, you love loving life. You like indulging in things, and it feels so good, but it feels so frustrating, this whole money situation that's happening, that you really wish that it wasn't. And it feels very binding, and you wish you could just get rid of the chains, get rid of the bindings, and almost like get rid of money and altogether. And then when I move down here in this energy, it feels like something is kind of emotionally heavy and difficult for you to move on. When this card is upright, it's leaving like a painful situation and going in a new direction. And in this direction, it's like, it's being very hard to leave some sort of responsibility that you have. That's what I'm getting with this. So maybe it could be a job. It could be parental responsibilities as well. Like, you're having to take care of someone, or having to take care of too many things at once, and like there's no way for you to like let go of it. You're not sure how to move on, because this is something like you need to do and you have to do. And I'm getting the energy with these cards here. So here we have like a childlike energy. This feels like teenager energy. And some of the responsibilities that you may be doing if you are taking care of a parent in some way, or assisting someone, or a younger sibling, it does feel like the energy of like teamwork, and on some level like you want to do this, but it is taking an emotional toll, and that's kind of hard. And it almost feels like, to me, anything that takes you away from your art and your creativity, you struggle, because you'd really rather just spend all of your time in that energy. And having to do money things, responsibility things, life things, it's just too much. And you would really rather be in this energy of like celebration. Over here, we have the Six of Wands, the Four of Wands. You would rather be with your friends. You'd rather be enjoying things. You'd rather like kind of move into the deliciousness of life and focus on things that bring you joy and make you really happy. And having to do life things like you have to do, like this Five of Wands, this just feels so exhausting. Like, it's too much. You would really rather not engage into these things. Okay, let's move into the next area of this reading. What are you intending is the next question. So let's go ahead and ask that. Pile number 4, I'm getting the feeling that you intend to stay in your joy. You are not letting other people drag you down. Like, not today, buddy. Like, you are like not going into like the dense energy too much. You're just like, no, like, I feel like you want to have like this complete rebirth over here with this Phoenix card. New phase, rekindle, changed mind, rise from the ashes. Like, this whole, any of the things that have been holding you back, you're ready to like let them go, rip off the Band-Aid. You're like, no, like, life is too short. I'm not gonna do this. You're more interested in living in the moment. You're not interested in carrying around past hurts. You're not interested in being dragged down. You're just like, no. Like, If other people want to do that, that's fine, but you're just not having it. So with this Crystal Waterfalls card, clear your mind, cleanse your soul, healing, cleansing, recharging. So if you can get into a pool, if you can go to the ocean, if you can go to the lake, even taking a salt bath every day at home would be a great idea. Maybe you have a friend or you yourself live in an apartment complex that has a pool and a hot tub. That would be a great idea. Energy field, you get back what you put into the universe. I feel like the water is going to cleanse your energy more, and it's going to allow you to regularly let go of these things that are not serving you. Right? Succubus cave, protect your energy. The world keeps spinning. So, you know, life is going to keep going on. There are things that are going to keep needing to be happening. Maybe some responsibilities you need to keep doing, whatever they are. But that doesn't mean that you can't feel rejuvenated and refreshed. So I'm getting the energy of like some sort of habit here of cleansing your energy. This could be with sage, maybe on a daily basis, but particularly water would be massively helpful because this ending card, I kind of did this in like an L because they wouldn't fit in one row. Sparkling Falls, show yourself unconditional love. And she is underneath this like sparkling waterfall of champagne. So allow yourself to be nourished. Allow all these things to be washed away. You know, just as the earth keeps spinning and things keep going on and on all the time, and, you know, life keeps going, you need to also keep cleansing yourself, like, over and over and over again, because life keeps going on. And this is going to allow you to feel more clean, more clear, this sort of phoenix energy, this teddy bear, interested in you, blooming romance, flirting, wanting to date. And then the date card was the next one that came up. So, like, this new you, it feels like it opens up the energy for possibly a date, maybe more romance energy. It could also be your creativity. It could just be your energy running in a way that feels clean and feels clear to you and like feels really good. And then we have Not Today, Heartbroken, and Hammer. So you're like, you intend to not choose to go into these stories of heartbreak and difficulty, and your energy feels very different than the other piles. Every pile has like a different energy to it. And I'm not saying you are a Sagittarius, you could be. But you're just like, no, I'm not going to focus on the minutia. I'm not going to focus on these little things that I don't need it. You're so much more interested in focusing on new energy, new opportunities coming in, dates, right? Being in this energy of like radiance and sparkling falls. Like, this is all you want to do. And I agree with you. This is a great idea. You should do this. You should be in this energy all of the time. All right, so now let's ask the next question. What are any primary blocks that you need to know? Okay, pile 3. So when I was pulling these cards, I pulled them in this order, and I hadn't pulled these yet, and I was feeling the feeling of communication. I was like, communication is coming to me, and I literally pulled this card, Love Call. So this is a love deck. This is the Situation Love Oracle deck. So your situation that you're thinking of might not pertain to love, but I felt called to use this deck for this question. So what are the primary blocks? So here's what I'm seeing, feeling. Okay, coffee cup. This is making me think of like a friend, someone you used to be close to, someone that you used to share a lot of things with. And maybe you guys have been distant for a little while, right? But this person is one of your soul friends. So I'm using the word soul friend and not soulmate. The concept of soulmate means there's only like one perfect person for you as a romantic partner. And like, I don't really subscribe to that. There are soul groups. People reincarnate as soul groups. And like when someone is in like the same soul group as me, I'll be like, oh, that's like a soul friend, meaning like I've reincarnated with them before. A lot of times people reincarnate in groups, right? So like a lot of my favorite people, I call them my favorite people. They're my soul group. They're one of my soul friends. So this person that this spread is referring to is like one of your like soul people, right? Like one of your soul friends, someone that you probably used to be very close to and you probably still love with this unconditional love card over here. And maybe there was like some sort of rift in some way between you two. But what I'm getting from this spread is there's like some block going on in your energy field. And like it's time to communicate and time to talk and maybe like forgive this person for like whatever happened in the past. This to me feels like the past, okay? So this backstabbing card, what I'm getting from it is like a misunderstanding. Not necessarily like this person was like trying to be malicious, but I just feel like they maybe like accidentally hurt you, or they didn't think you were going to take it as bad as what you did. Do I feel like they were taking complete responsibility for the energy? No, I really don't. However, I feel like some talking and communication would like clear up this whole thing, and that would help you immensely, and it would help them as well. And so I also got surrender stress and surrender procrastination. So maybe you've known for a while that you need to resolve this, or you need to clear up this like miscommunication that's causing this separation. And this is kind of like your sign to do so. So surrender to what is, flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change the situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. So if you are not able to communicate with this person, I feel like the guidance is to just like accept that it is what it is, that you tried as best that you could, and to let it go. Okay? So I'm not sure why this is a primary block in your situation. Let's see what other cards we can pull about it. Get some more info. A little bit of faith. Stop giving away your power, and bet on yourself. Take chances. Reach your dreams. You've got this. So when we have a situation that's unresolved, we sometimes give away a little bit of our power, right? Because it can take over our thoughts. It's something we can like ruminate on in our head over and over again. And when you do that, you are giving away your power, okay? So a little bit of faith, bet on yourself, and take chances. So if your gut's telling you to do something, this is saying bet on yourself. The feeling that you feel inside is the right feeling. So as if, for instance, if you're listening to this reading and your gut's telling you like, no, I don't need to communicate with this person, I need to just surrender to what is, then you should listen to your gut and not listen to what I'm telling you, okay? Always listen to your inner gut 100% of the time, always and forevermore, right? This is just a general reading to help give you guidance and direction to decide in which way that you want to go. All right, what should you do next? The card I'm drawn to the most is this new chapter card. So if you do have communication, this feels like such a continuation from the cards that were just drawn. If you do have communication, it can turn over a new leaf and create a new chapter. The Death card and this card are basically like the same card, right? It's this metamorphosis with the moth. And with this dark moon, it's like what's going on underneath the surface will be seen. And the Two of Swords, she's holding these cards over her eyes. There are things that you can't see right now, but when you take the cards away from your eyes, it's going to cause a transformation to occur that's going to, like, it feels like an emotional release where you'll be able to move forward and you'll realize the story is different than you thought it was, right? We have this pencil here that's like a tree. So it's possible that maybe they felt underappreciated or you felt underappreciated, but when you all communicate, like some things will be revealed, and then you're going to have this understanding and you guys are going to come back together and there's going to be a transformation. So there were other things that got in the way of us being together. So this is like a relationship deck. But what I'm getting with this third party card is there's information that you don't know that is in the way. And it's possible that it could be like another person was like saying something they shouldn't have been, but it also could just be straight information that you didn't know or the other person thought was true, but you're like, no, that's not true. Like, that's not what it is. But when you talk, it's going to be revealed what actually is true, and that will allow you to turn over a new leaf. And this feeling of like being underappreciated, like, is going to be, it just feels like release, like pulled up from the water and just like let go of, right? So yeah, you're going to realize the story is completely different than you thought that it was. And I'm sorry, my cats are making noise. And it's going to allow everything to be like a brand new. I also pulled the surrender resentments card. So holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life. So even if you don't end up talking to this person or they don't want to talk to you for whatever reason, I feel like you should still forgive them anyway. You should release and like let go of any energy that you may be holding on to, so that you can bring healing to yourself, so that you can receive the healing no matter what. Okay, so now I'm going to ask, is there anything else that you need to know? Let's do this one and this one. Ooh, you have the power to create the life you love. Remember that. What has your inner voice been asking of you? Listen and act. Yeah, so the inner guidance that you are hearing is true and is accurate and is going to help you move forward. The more you follow your inner voice, the more power you have to create things, because your inner guidance system and the spirit world, your spirit team that's assisting you, is always trying to help you move forward in the most harmonious, beautiful way for the highest of everyone involved. And listening to that guidance is going to like help you create the life that you're looking for and that balance that you're looking for. And if they're encouraging you to release resentments and release things that have happened with one or multiple people in order to move forward, then listen to that divine idea. Okay, they may also be bringing like different opportunities to you. And so it's very important to listen, because sometimes it can be as subtle as like, you should go to the yard sale today or Goodwill today or whatever. And I am always following my guidance. And then when I do the simplest thing, like, oh, you should go to the pool today, the coolest thing happens. I get to the pool and my friend's there, right? Or when I go to the Goodwill, they tell me to, I get there, like something I was looking for is there. So there's so much power in listening to your guidance. So much power in listening to your guidance, right? All right, the red in the red makes me feel like your spirit team has probably been encouraging you to release any resentments or things that you have been holding in your energy, because holding them in, it creates like a contracty energy, you know what I mean? And you want to like release it. I'm being drawn over here to your charms. So what I'm feeling with this plane energy is, it's this energy of freedom. It's this energy of release, right? So you don't have to work so hard. Like the sewing machine, it's a machine. It's always like going and going and going and going and going, right? Like it feels to me like manual labor. It feels to me like having to work at something for a long period of time. Maybe it's like drudgery. Maybe it's like not, the most fun thing you've ever thought of. But I'm really strongly feeling this plane, like, you can either focus on the drudgery or you can focus on the plane. And I feel like you have a natural inclination, based on like the cards we got in the very beginning of this reading, to like focus on the good things and, focus on like feeling good and really like enjoying yourself, right? Especially with this card that we got. But they really want you to not hold on to any of these like resentments that have been holding you down. It's going to allow you to feel free, right? And it's going to allow you to lift up. So any sort of like stagnancy that you've been feeling, if you just cut the cords to these things that have been weighing you down, particularly if it's a conversation you need to have with someone, is going to allow you to not just feel free, but like law of attraction, it's going to bring in new circumstances and events. When your energy is like clean and clear, circumstances and events are going to come in that are going to reflect back that cleanness and that clarity to you, okay? You could use self-care time like now. Schedule it in, okay? So whatever makes you feel nourished, whatever makes you feel joy, whether it is a bath, right? Remember we got the water card earlier. Going out in nature. I love to go to the river where I live. Going to a lake. Anything that feels to you like a decadent and amazing. And honestly, it could be just getting your nails done. Like if you enjoy doing something like that too. It could be walking barefoot in the grass. I really like to go sit out in the sun. The simplest thing, right? I've got my little lawn chair and I love just sitting outside, feeling the wind on my face and sitting in the chair. It's like the simplest thing, right? And clear your mental and physical clutter. You will feel so much better. Yeah. If there is a conversation you need to have with someone, I feel like it's going to just bring like this huge release and a lot of like clearing. And even if they don't talk to you or they don't want to talk to you, it's fine. You can still release the energy anyway. You could write a letter to them and then just like tear the letter up and release all that energy into the trash. Okay, you don't have to send the letter to them. It's actually a really good way to move energy and like transfer energy and to like release it, okay? So you have the power. Release the resentments. Do what your intuition has been telling you to do. Make sure you get enough self-care. Focus on the freedom. Don't focus on the drudgery, okay? All right, pile number 4. Thank you guys so much. If you feel like this reading would help a friend, send them over and please like and subscribe. All right, pile number 5. So when I drew your cards, the first thing that I noticed is that there's quite a lot of reversals here. These first 3 were reversed, and there are a total of 6 reversals, okay? All right, so let's get into the energy of that. This means like something is not going the direction you want it to. Something is not flowing the way that you want it to. First thing I'm noticing is 4 of Pentacles in this Hermit. Like you're not listening to yourself, and I feel like you're spending too much money. Too much money is going out, right? So when this card is upright, this person is contracting and they're like holding onto their money. They're not spending. It's reversed for you, so I feel like maybe too much money is going out. If it's not money, it's too much of some sort of energy is going out that doesn't need to be going out, because money really is just a form of energy. But you're not listening to yourself and you're spending too much or allowing too much of your energy to go in a certain direction. But I feel like you're like, oh, but it's what I want. Like it's my desires. But I feel like you're spending based on these desires, but you're not checking in with your gut in here about whether or not it's the correct thing to do. And you're just kind of more on like a surface level, and you're just you're like just like spending the money. But this isn't what you like actually want. So King of Cups is like this person is integrated with their emotions. Like that's why they have the dog, right? They are grounded in themselves. They're in command of their energy. That's like the king energy. So this like overspending or allowing too much energy to leave, and whatever the energy is, that you're overindulging in something, even if it's not money, it's not you being in your king energy. Your mind might be lying to yourself and be like, oh, but it's what I really wanted. But like, is it? Right? Because what I'm getting with this King of Cups is that it's not coming from like a grounded space, that place inside where you're like, oh yes, this is aligned. This is correct for me. It's the spending is happening from it's like from a non-alignment place, and it's just not, it's not going to lead you to your goals, right? If this was upright, you would be hitting your goals, but it's upside down. So this habit pattern, which is, you know, temporary and changeable, is not going to lead you to your goals. It's also going to make you feel like you're not good enough, you can't compete, you can't figure it out, you're not going to win the tournament. Okay? Interestingly, this person is like fighting, and they are dressed in a cheerleader outfit, right? With all these other people that are also some sort of like, this person is in yoga pants, this person looks like a ballerina outfit, this person looks like a tap dancer, a break dancer, like everybody is performing in some way, and there's fighting when it's upright. But when it's like, I feel like you're not even going to be able to perform. Like you're not even going to be in the running, because you're not going to have met your goals for whatever it is that you want to do. If you have like this big thing that you want to accomplish and do, you're going to have to get your thinking and your habits in alignment, and surrender your belief in scarcity. Like you keep thinking that there's not enough, but it's not that there's not enough. It's that you're not tuning into your body deeply and feeling whether or not you need to do the thing. Okay. Knight of Wands, just, this feels like, this energy feels, I don't know if I want to use the word irresponsible, but it's like you're going so much with the flow of like the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and just like spending and like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do that. That, the energy, it's like, it's just not coming from this groundedness inside, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying like you shouldn't spend money. I'm not saying you shouldn't do the things that you want to do, but you got to have a gut check first. I feel like this is what this whole thing is. It's like, it's not that there's not enough. It's that you're not having a gut check. Okay. So I feel like in your mind, you kind of know this somewhere, like the swords are about thinking, right? Like the intuitive part of you, because this is the queen, that part of your mind is like, yeah, we probably need to cut out this, and this, but like, you know, we're not doing that. And this Page of Pentacles, when this card is upright, This person is very studious. They're keeping track of their money. They're paying attention to what's going on. You know, they're making sure they have like a good business model going, right? This is reversed with you. So you're not keeping track. You don't actually really realize what your expenses are. You don't really realize. So I feel like it could be a good idea to, and I know nobody likes to do this, but pull up your statements and look at them and like actually just like look at the data in a neutral way, non-judgmental, right? Just be like, okay, I'm just going to see what's been happening. The other, I'm sorry, my cats are playing. The other, so just like they're playing and they're yelling at each other, you may have some resistance in that. But we do have these, you know, religious symbols here. There's like several of them. And this is telling me like, I don't feel like it's actually in your value set to spend too much money. Like if you really like move into like, what do you believe? What do you value? You're going to realize that you're like, oh, I don't actually value these things. So if you were to change the conversation from instead of, oh, I can't spend this much money or I can't spend this much energy on this thing that's like not returning anything. And if you were instead to change the conversation to, well, what do you value and what is actually important to you? Then you're going to be able to come at this situation from a whole nother angle, okay? All right, so here's what we have. I also pulled within the vehicle, nightclub, and ship. Okay, are you taking too many trips that you don't need to take? All right, these could be weekend trips, day trips, or are you choosing vacations that are too expensive? This makes me think also of, you know, can you do things to, if you still want to go on the trip, are there ways that you can do it cheaper? How can you rearrange it? Can you stay at an Airbnb instead of a hotel? Can you use credit card points for the ticket, right? Do you need to rent a car for the entire days, or are you going to be in a city where you can actually just walk? Like asking yourself these sort of questions to see, because I just feel like with some conscientious thought, there's all these things you realize that don't need to be going out. Nightclub, dance floor, neon lights. So how much are you going out? Are you going out obsessively? Do you feel nourished by going out? Like if you were just to ask your soul, well, how many times is it aligned to go out? Well, maybe your soul's like, oh, it's like 2 days. Okay, but maybe you're going out like 6 days, right? So I'm not saying like don't do the things you like to do. Do the things you like to do, but do them because they're in alignment, not because you're ungrounded and not like thinking about them. Like be in your body. Within the vehicle, commuting experience, road journey. This also could mean trips. This also could mean, is this the correct car for you? Did you buy the car that you felt intuitively guided to buy, right? What is your gut telling you? Gut check on the car, okay? Should you keep this car? Maybe you need to get a different car or a cheaper car. Maybe the car payment's too high. Like, what is your gut telling you about the car? Just tune in and ask yourself and you'll like immediately get the answer. So I'm feeling like there's, with your reading, you guys, the energy feels like a little out of control for you, and like there's like a lot going on. And it's like, oh, but there's so much going on. Like, how can I possibly focus? But really, just a little bit of focus is just going to change things so much. And then the other card I pulled for you is bench, rest and relaxation, seating, comfort, pause, and ponder. So getting, this feels to me like so much like getting in touch with your values. So important. Asking yourself, what do you want? Why do you want that? Why is this important to me? Questions like that. And if you want to pause the video and write it down, it's a really good idea. And then we also have concert, live performance, music celebrations. You know, is there a podcast that you're listening to or a YouTuber that you're listening to that is like really good about financial things that can help you? You know what I mean? Like, what are you listening to is what I'm getting with this concert card, all right? And the other thing I'm getting with the concert card is listen to your inner guidance. When you're on the bench, it's a lot easier to hear your inner guidance than when you're at the nightclub, right? Now, again, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to the nightclub. Go to the nightclub. I go out a couple nights a week as well. But like, I'm asking myself, is it aligned to go out tonight? Is it not aligned? And then I'm doing the thing that's aligned. This whole reading is about checking in with what do you value, what's important to you, okay? All right, pile number 5. What are you intending? So you really want to be in balance, okay? You want to be in balance and you don't want to be stressed out anymore by your financial situation or whatever is happening in your life that's like overwhelming and making you feel stressed out, right? So you want to feel emotionally different and you really want to be successful, okay? And then when I move down here into this energy, it's like you don't want to ask for help. You don't want to ask for help from the people around you. It almost feels like you'd rather like keep up this facade of like everything's merry and bright and everything's perfect, but you know you need to make a different decision and you are intending to bring things into balance. You are intending to get things under control, right? You are intending to feel different about the situation. And that is step one. And I think that's amazing and that is perfect. So when I ask what are the primary blocks within you, what I've gotten is glass box, all eyes on you, scrutiny, entrapment, attention. You don't want to feel like if you change, maybe like, let's say you're like, oh, I'm going to change my habits a little bit. It's not alignment for me to go out this many days. I'm going to go out this many days. Like I'm going to take up this new habit and like let go of that habit, whatever. Or maybe you're like, I'm going to change the car. You don't want people to judge you and be like, oh, well, what's wrong with such and such? Like, are they not like doing well? Like, why did they sell that thing? Why did they change this thing in their life? Why are they doing this like different habit? Like you have all these people that expect you to be a certain way and you don't really want to like disappoint them and you don't want to have to like explain to them why you're making different decisions or why you're choosing to make choices that are more in alignment with your values, because I feel like these people are like, but you've been this way for so long, like you've been this person, but like I feel like you've grown out of it. Like you are like really like growing and like moving out of your shell and you're changing on the inside. And I feel like you've been watching YouTube videos, you've been consuming content in some way or podcasts, something to the nature of that. And you have been changing in your energy and you have been changing in your mind. And you've probably maybe changed faster than some of the people that are around you that you see all the time, but you haven't like brought in new friends that are reflecting this energy back to you. So there's this fear in the body of like, oh, but like if I start showing up different with these people, are they going to reject me? Like, am I going to be alone? Like, you don't want to like be thrown out of like your social group. You know what I mean? Like this, I feel like the socialness is like really, really important to you. Super important. Headspace. You are overflowing with creativity. You are getting divine ideas in your head of how to do things and how to make money and how to like rearrange your life to make it make sense. But I feel like you are very distracted with all of the fun things that you are doing. And and I'm not saying you shouldn't do fun things. Dude, 100% do fun things. But what is trying to come through the reading is like the excess, right? So sometimes it's very in alignment to do the fun thing, 100% do it. And what I think is trying to come through here is like tuning into that alignment, not taking away all the fun things. Oh, this is why like there's like this huge resistance in the body to like changing things. It's like, oh, but I don't want to take away all my fun things and then just do the responsible things. Nobody wants to do that. That is not what this reading is saying. It is not saying to do that. This reading is saying tap into, right? This is why we have all these religious symbols. Tap into your body, tap into your intuition, tap into your values system, right? This is why we had religion in the first place. It was to be like this guiding light to help us as humans make aligned decisions so that we could reach our highest potential, right? So like you're watching people online who are following their guidance system. They are following their like intuition and like they are striving to like live on their highest timeline. And I feel like you like really want to do that. And you have brilliant ideas, like really good ideas. Like these downloads hit and they are solid ideas, like really that could make a lot of abundance here with all this gold happening in her head. But what's happening is that you're getting pulled, you're being kept down because you're so afraid of what everybody around you is going to think, right? You are way more occupied in their perception of you than you are in doing what's true to you no matter what. Okay, I hope I said that in like the clearest way. And I do not mean this in a judgy way. I mean this in like an enlightening way, like just like a noticing way. I'm like, okay, look at this new information that's coming through, right? VR Beach, experience life through a new set of eyes, new perspective, self-awareness, new experiences. So, seeing things from a different perspective. And I really feel strongly you're watching people on the internet or the podcast, the YouTube, the whatever, that see things from a different point of view. And you actually probably, I would say, have more in common with these people on the internet that you're consuming content from than you do with some of the people that you see like 5 times a week, right? But what's happening is that your life isn't reflecting back the sort of life that the people that you're watching are living, because you are not embodying the values that they are. This is all about getting in touch with your values. When you do that and you know what's important to you and why it's important to you, it will be very easy for you to make choices and move forward, and you won't care what the other people think. You won't care what all these like eyes on you think. Okay, halfway point, meet in the middle, compromise. I like how this is a medicine wheel, right? This is a sacred space right here. So this is like getting out of the city, getting into sacred space. This is half the battle right here. Peachy paradise, enjoy the view in front of you, happiness, contentment, and gratitude. And then we have Rose Valley. Go with a soft and open heart, love, feminine energy, and vulnerability. Being vulnerable to what your dreams are. Being vulnerable to what you actually want. Getting out of the hustle and bustle of the routine. It's almost like your routine that you're doing is like so distracting that you're not taking time to go into sacred space. You're not taking time to go in and talk to the gods or talk to your guardian angels or talk to your animal spirit guide. Okay? Whatever you resonate. Totally fine. You're not going into sacred space. And when you go into sacred space, everything will become clear. I kind of feel in my mind this stillness, right? Just like nothing. And my heater actually just went off. So I don't know if you can hear the clicking, but it just went off. So it's like that, like, it just feels like this like silence. You know, it's like at the middle of the night. Oh, when it snows, you know, when it snows and you go outside and it's like you can hear for miles. When you get into sacred space, you're going to be able to hear for miles, okay? And things are going to become really clear, crystal clear, all right? What do you actually want? You know, how do you bring more love into your life, right? That's what we all want. We all want more love. We all want more satisfaction. We all want to feel more connected, okay? So, did we do what are you intending? Is that what we were doing? And then what were the, okay, so this was what the primary blocks were. I just talked about that. All right, so what should you do next? Let's see, what should you do next? All right. All right, we have Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. Oh, Father Sky, trust in the unknown. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. This feels to me like divine guidance. Your spirit team, right? When was the last time that you talked to them? Spring, see your seeds grow. Oh my God. Okay, the best. Okay, so spirit is unseen, right? And here we have in this picture, this eagle feels to me like power. Like there's so much power in the unseen. There's so much power into tapping into your divine guidance. I'm getting shivers down my whole body. And it's not because it's cold in here. It's because this just feels to me like all this energy. Like look at all of this lightning that's happening around here. This is going to illuminate your path and illuminate what you need to know and what you need to see. And in order to do that, you have to be like in the sacred space. Be in this place away from the city, away from the hustle and bustle, like get away from all of it. And it's going to allow this healing energy to come through, which is going to allow you to be able to move forward. So he's holding a cup and it feels like you could also, you know, have a drink to focus on and focus your desires on. Something to like bring your attention into the present moment. And also a shamanic journey is the other thing that I'm feeling from this. And it came up from one of the other readings too. So shamanic journey is where there's tons of them on YouTube. You can type in shamanic journey to meet your guide. Shamanic journey for a power animal, like stuff like that. Shamanic journey to get clarity. You can do things like that. It's where you listen to a drum beat and it changes your brain frequency and then you go on a journey and see what comes up, okay? And that will allow you to get more inner guidance. So protection, guardian, drop your shields, okay? Allow in like your spirit team to help you and to guide you. And I almost feel like there's like a little bit of fear in the body about doing that, but like, what if they tell me to do something I don't want to do? You know, what if they tell me to do just like they give me tasks and I don't want to do them? And I'm just going to tell you from having done it myself, like, you're going to feel so connected and feel so good. It's going to feel so real to you. It's going to feel more real than your day-to-day reality and the things that you're doing. So as I move more into this, like, what should you do next? We also have great teacher, seer, and the sun. So I feel like the spirit world can help you so much. And they're going to help you see beyond your current situation. They're going to help you see current ideas and opportunities. And that's already happening with some of these people that you're listening to on the internet. But I'm getting this feeling it can be deeper. It can be, and this is wonderful, whoever these people are that you enjoy listening to that are helping you, keep listening to them. But like, the reason why you're so drawn to these people and they're helping you is because these people are connected to their spirit. They are connected to their spirit team and their internal guidance system. So for them, like, they are connected. And what you're actually seeking and craving, sorry, there's my cats. I don't know why they're, will you guys stop it? Okay, so we're just going to highlight that because they're highlighting it. What you're actually seeking is the connection that they have. The other YouTubers and podcasters, they have this connection. That's why they're successful, because they're connected to themselves. They're feeling deeply what they need to be doing, and then they're doing those things. And they're putting those things first and not all of the like peripheral stuff first. So I feel for a long time, you've been getting the guidance to like do certain things, take certain steps, but you haven't put the guidance first. You haven't chosen to like step into trusting spirit more, following your internal guidance system, following to what they're telling you. I feel like they've been giving you guidance the entire time. You've never been alone. They've always been with you. And really taking the time to look, to see, to acknowledge what they've been telling you is going to bring about the success that you desire. The people that you're following that are living their dream life or almost dream life are living it because they followed their guidance, because they followed their intuition, and they did what they knew, like their spirit team, their higher self was guiding them to do, right? They trusted in the unknown, and they took steps on that, and they trusted that they were protected, and they did what was coming from within them, and they acknowledged it, they saw it, they did it, and like now they're receiving the success of those fruitful efforts. And I feel like you are this person. This is who you actually are at your core. And the people that you are surrounded by at the moment, like, they're not seeing you as that. They're seeing you as, you know, maybe like the fun, loving, social you, and they're not like seeing the deeper spiritual you. But I have this funny feeling that there are a couple people in your group that if you were to like show more of yourself, they would really resonate with it. And they might not tell you in the group, but they might tell you one-on-one later. And there are probably some people in the group that are going to make fun of you. And you know what? Who cares? Right? Like, this is about being true to you. Remember that you can't change anyone but yourself. And you know, if the people around you judge you for you choosing to be on a more aligned path that is in harmony with what you actually want and what you actually desire to do. And I know the beginning of this like reading was like talking about money, but like money is power and resources. It's just a representation of that. Are you using your power in the way you want to? Are you using your resources in the way you want to? Like, is your money going towards things that you value? If it's not, just change it. It's really not, it's just money. Like, you can just redirect the energy, redirect the money, make new choices, right? Stop caring about what they think. This is your life to love and live. Stop ruminating over what you did or didn't do. Someone is in need of your love. And I feel like that someone is you. I feel like that is yourself. You are in need of just like giving yourself unconditional love, forgiving yourself, not worrying about like forgiving the others around you and forgiving yourself, right? You can't change the people around you. It doesn't really matter what they think. And you know what? It doesn't matter what your ego thinks either. You could be like, ego, thank you so much. Thank you so much. But you know what? I'm going to follow Spirit's guidance now. And I'm just like, it's just this feeling of loving yourself, forgiving those around you, forgiving your past self. And if you made choices that you wouldn't make now, like, it's okay. And just like forgive yourself if you made choices before or spent money before that like wasn't in alignment. Like, it's not really that big of a deal. Just choose to go with spirit. Surrender to the magic of who you are and surrender worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. We all have magic within us, even the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that comes from just being you. I feel like you absolutely can create the magic that some of these people that you've been following on the interwebs have made. And you absolutely can shift your life into more alignment every day. You can take baby steps every day, right? And if you just keep taking the steps, you're going to be led onto the perfect path for you. Your spirit team knows the easiest and fastest way to help you get to where you want to go. And it's really just daily tapping inside, feeling what the impulse is, what is the aligned thing to do, what is my guidance telling me to do today, right? Love. You got the love card. Love. Love yourself unconditionally. Forgive yourself. Drop into the present moment and ask yourself, what is in alignment for me here? What is my highest timeline? What am I being guided to do? Okay? Asking yourself questions like that day by day and just practicing following your guidance is going to help you immensely. Okay? And I do feel strongly there is a guide that really does want to connect with you. You can Google Shamanic Journey to Meet a Spirit Guide. That would be a good idea. So I feel like that'd be a fun thing to do next. All right. If you feel like you have a friend that would like to see this reading, please send it to them. And like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. All right. The decks used was the Wake Me Up Tarot. Let's see. Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. Surrender to Your Power by Judy Orloff. You Are Here by Monica Ann. This is from Etsy. Situation Love Oracle deck. This is from Amazon. I think I used this one too. Heart Secrets from Amazon. Moonology by Yasmin, Boland. Messages of Love Oracle deck from Amazon. And then the Place Oracle also from Amazon. And then I think in one of the piles I use this as well, which is the Hanson Roberts Tarot deck. And sorry about all the commotion, that would be my cats.